All right, Whip, you kind of broke Ohio State Twitter for a few days, and in a good way. People were kind of going in a frenzy over your sweatshirt, where, in case anybody who doesn't know, there was a Michigan insider, Michigan troll. I'm not even sure how to describe the guy, but he kind of called you out saying that you couldn't sell any merchandise because there's a thread going down talking about name, image, and likeness. And because, you're not really one of, the centerpiece guys there at Ohio State yet, he kind of called you out, and then you kind of turned it right around. We made a sweatshirt with his tweet on it, and you made a pretty penny. I'm not going to say exactly how much you made, but you did very, very well for yourself. So for anyone who doesn't know, obviously the tweet inspired you to make the merchandise, but is this something that you kind of foresaw for yourself once this name, image, and likeness rule was passed in terms of making merchandise?
Yeah, I mean, once I heard about name, image, likeness, I kind of knew that the market was going to be pretty populated with obviously the high-profile athletes and getting more of the name brand contracts and stuff like that. So for myself, for right now, I saw an opportunity with the sweatshirt, with that tweet, to be able to go and create some merchandise. And with the Elevated, with your help and Elevate behind me, I mean, we were able to really push it out there and get the marketing going for it, and we were able to get a lot of people to buy it, and like you said, make a pretty penny off it. So that was really exciting. And going on for the future, I think merchandise is the right path to go for a lot of athletes, because it is a direct way to have your fans contribute to your popularity and to your name, image, likeness without having to reach out to these huge companies that sometimes don't get back to you right away. So yeah, I think it was an awesome opportunity. I'm excited to see what we can come up with for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of the people who bought it, I think there are a few things that stand out in this example of, you branding yourself. Big market will always play, regardless of who you are, regardless if you're the starting center yet, or you're a freshman, or you're fighting for a spot. The big markets like Ohio State, even Michigan, those big conferences, those fans will always support their players. And then two, social media presence is really important, because you could still be, you could play at Ohio State, but if you have 200 followers on Twitter, it might not get out there as much, and you, luckily, you have that following, you have that platform out there, where you can reach people. Is that something that you understood going in, and you want to, utilize that? Because the whole reason that this rule was passed is because, these schools and, the NCAA makes so much money off you guys, that you guys deserve to start, getting a little bit, of a piece to yourselves. And I know that you're in a great spot there at Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I never saw myself as somebody that really was huge into social media or posted a ton and whatnot. But as this name, image, likeness is starting to come around, I'm seeing how that kind of backfired on me a little bit with not maybe having as many followers as teammates and whatnot, with not posting as much. But I kind of like where my social standing is with social media. I think I have a good following on all my platforms. And like you said, being in the market of Ohio State or one of these big schools like Alabama or Clemson, the following that you have from that, you necessarily don't need a giant following like some guys have with 100,000 followers. You just need a substantial amount to be able to get your message out there or your product out there, because these fans will be attracted to the name and what you represent. So I think it's great to be in the place I am at Ohio State, just for that alone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you were on a few different news networks or media platforms. I know Barstool did a piece on you. How early into, the sweatshirt being released? Because I know obviously it's your sweatshirt, people are reaching out to you. Like, how soon were people reaching out to you to try to get like more on this story? And then and also that's also good for you, because there's more people are pushing the story out there, different platforms, like especially Barstool, who has millions of followers that check all their content.
Yeah, I mean, I think the saying goes like, one called publicity. There's no such thing as bad publicity. So I think there's a lot of people reaching out, asking new stories on it. I think it was great. I mean, I really think it drove the sales of the product, the sweatshirt, up, because more people were able to see it. The local news stations here in Columbus were probably a huge help, which is getting the word out there that the product's out there. So if people were interested, they were able to easily find it, and it was accessible to many people. I mean, you had the Elevate store set up really quickly, which was a huge help. Is within, I think, an hour of the tweet, the original tweet, we were able to put the store out there, which caught people's attention right away, rather than having to wait a few days to be able to do it, and maybe the fever rush for it died down. So I believe that a lot of the publicity and with Barstool and everything really helped us, and to be able to promote and market the sweatshirt.
Yeah, and I do commend you honestly, because you were telling me like, this needs to get out right now because people are hot.
Yeah.
It's a trending topic, on Twitter and all that stuff, and everyone's like saying like, dude, if you put this out there, I'm buying this. Have you always had that kind of like go out there and get it mindset? Because that's, even though people were saying that they were going to buy it, that's kind of like a risky move. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the guy called you out, then you kind of like turned it back around to him. By the way, shout out, James Yoder, awesome guy. I saw on the news piece he was interviewed as well. He was definitely a good guy. He understands what happened, and I think it worked out the best way it could. But have you always just went out there and got it, and just always trying to maximize on those opportunities?
Yeah, I think that's a part of like being an athlete. As you know, it's when opportunities presented to you, you can run with it, or kind of shy away from it. I always kind of see myself as somebody that likes to take my opportunity and run away with it, and kind of not look back. And with this one, the opportunity obviously presented itself, and the market was hot, so I was trying to jump on it as fast as I could. And it's kind of like you kind of weigh like the good and the bad, and the good is people will buy the sweatshirt, and the bad is some people don't. And either way, I was okay with that, and it was a good kind of a test run to see where I stood in the NLI market. So I saw that it went pretty well, and it's really exciting now moving forward for the future.
Definitely. So I'll let you go. I think you're a great example of guys who should be taking that kind of that lead, especially as a young guy in the big program. The guys can't really help, how old they are. Like there might be seniors who only have 1 year to, maximize on this rule, but definitely commend you. I think more guys need to be doing what you're doing, taking initiative. So definitely great job on this. And anyone who's watching this, wants to buy Luke Wypler merchandise, will be coming out with more in the season. Luke's got training camp tomorrow, so definitely wishing him luck with all that.
Yeah. Hey, appreciate you, Nico. Elevate did me right, baby. Thank you.
We'll
Appreciate it.
do our best to continue to do that. I'll talk to you
Talk
soon.
to you.